This episode is brought to you not by a product, not by a brand, but by a person, or animal, or, some or item. Could be a human, could be a fucking bus, could be a male, could be a female. Maybe it's a male, but she identifies as a she. Maybe it's a male or a female, but they identify as they. If you don't know, if you haven't gotten it yet, today's episode is brought to you by Jesus Christ. Everybody say it with me. Today's episode is brought to you by Jesus Christ. It's Easter Sunday, and happy Easter to all you Christians out there, and fucking whoever else celebrates the rebirth of Easter Sunday is a festival or holiday, celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. It is described in the New Testament as having occurred on the third day of Jesus' burial after his crucifixion by the Romans at something approximately 30 AD. AD obviously stands for after death, I think. Or maybe it stands for after this holiday happened. I don't really know what it stands for, but that's why some people celebrate Easter. And this sparked a few questions for me. I thought, why the fuck? First of all, my first question was, why the fuck is Easter always on a different day? Last year it was like April 1st. Next year it's going to be April 13th or something like that. Today is April 21st. Pick a fucking day then. And if it had something to do with God, which obviously I knew the reason why people celebrate Easter before today, before I Googled it, I did know the reason. So I don't know why you're being like that, but I thought, if Jesus Christ is Jesus and God, are they the same person? Hold on. Is God Jesus Christ? Are God, well, how do you ask that? Are God and Jesus the same people? Are they the same person? Is Jesus God? The media, Jesus is God. How can Jesus be both God and God's son? Hey, we're not doing that today on today's episode, that's for sure. So if I said it wrong, then fucking sorry. But I thought, if it's Jesus Christ's resurrection, if that's why we celebrate, didn't he do that on one day? Why do we celebrate sometimes May 1st, sometimes April 13th? Why does it change? So I looked that up, and it says, according to the Bible, Jesus Christ's death and resurrection occurred at the time of Jewish Passover, which was celebrated on the first full moon. This soon led to Christians celebrating Easter on different days. Okay, so we kind of just fucking whenever we feel, whenever the full moon happens, then everyone knows it's time to fucking get those eggs out and get the paint and start going to town. My next question was, what the fuck do eggs have to do with God, with Jesus resurrecting? Why do we have chocolate eggs to celebrate whatever the fuck happened in his time in AD, 30 AD? And what I read here was, in Christian tradition, eggs have multiple meanings. They were taught to symbolize the stone on the tomb of Christ, hence egg rolling, for example, the White House. I don't know what the fuck any of that means. You know what? Reading all this makes me want to just get fucking high. And let's talk about that instead. I can't talk about Easter. I can't talk about all the fucking... Half of you guys probably aren't even Christian, and a lot of you guys I feel like are atheists or don't believe in God. And I don't really know what I claim either. So I just figured today was a chance that I could teach myself a little bit about Easter. If you guys don't know about it, maybe you learned something there. And now let's talk about getting high, and let's have a little bit of fun here. I asked my followers on Instagram the question, what is the most memorable experience you have with marijuana? And before I read you guys the answers, I'm not doing the ad yet, so don't turn it off. Before I read you the answers that you guys sent me, I want to read you some of read you some of my stories from the inside of my brain. Weed is it's a fun drug, right? It's not really something that kills you. There's a lot of people that think, and I'm sure it does, like kill cancer cells. There's a lot of fucking science behind it. I'm not here to tell you all that shit. You have Google for that. I'm just here to tell you that when you smoke it, it gives you get fucking weird. When you want to get weird, get a little bit of weed from your buddies or buy it at a shop, really. But it alters the state of mind that you're in. I don't have to explain what weed is. Everyone knows what it is. But me being a guy that doesn't really smoke a lot, and I haven't smoked in quite some time, but being a guy with a very low tolerance, any time that I've smoked weed in my past, it's gotten me pretty fucking high. And there's a lot I've experienced with the different ways of getting high. I've smoked it out of a bong. I smoked it out of a bowl. I've smoked a fucking zong, which I don't know if you guys know what that is. I don't really know what it is, but that's what the kid called it. It's like a bong with like kinks. Like it looks like zigzags, I think. I've smoked a blunt. I've smoked a fucking one-hitter. And I've ate edibles. Now, let me tell you about some different experiences I had so I could explain what the type of high that I enjoy is. The most memorable time I got high was the first time I ever got high. And this was just smoking a blunt. It was very easy. At the time, I smoked cigarettes, so it was a lot less intimidating. I didn't have to get some fucking glass piece and have a fucking blowtorch and have my buddy pull a fucking thing over my head and then fill the thing up with ice and water. I didn't have to do a fucking science lab in my basement. My friend just rolled a little bit of weed up and I could smoke it just like a cigarette. So it wasn't as intimidating. I guess everyone says that the different ways of smoking, there's different effects from it. From my stories, maybe you'll understand that. When I smoked a blunt for the first time, I was with my friends in the basement. All my friends wanted me to get high all the fucking time because I never did it in high school, in the beginning stages of high school, like freshman, sophomore year. I never really did it. So they weren't, like my friends were cool because they weren't like peer pressure, but they were also fucking dicks because they would beg me to do it. And I'm a nice guy, and you can only be begging for so often. And then I'm like, all right, if I'll fucking do it then, I'll get high. So my friends are in the basement, and I'm with them, and we're smoking a blunt. And after we smoked a blunt, we were smoking cigarettes. So, by the way, happy 420 to everyone. I didn't fucking say that. That probably would have been a better segue into this topic. But I smoked a cigarette after I got high, and I told my friends, I said, I'm going to do a magic trick. I don't know what the fuck's going on with the lighting. I told them I'm going to do a magic trick. So I'm smoking the cigarette like this, and then I held the cigarette like between my thumb and my two middle fingers. Oh no, it was between my thumb and the knuckle on my middle finger. Like it was like this. Like fucking kind of like a Rock On logo, but not, or hand symbol. So I told them I'm going to flick the cigarette in the air and catch it like this. And this was supposed to be the magic trick. So I fucking flicked it up and I caught it like this, which you couldn't fucking do if you weren't high. If I was sober, I could never do that because that's a fucking hard thing. And not only did I catch the cigarette in between this tiny like slot in my fingers, I caught it on the cherry, and I caught it and I looked at my friends like, holy fuck, I just caught it. And then I looked down and then I screamed and I like flicked it out because I didn't scream, but I was like, ow, fuck. And I flicked it because I burnt the shit out of my hand. So obviously my stoner friends got a fucking kick out of that. They were laughing their fucking balls off. And that was probably one of the most memorable times I had smoking a blunt. The only time that I smoked a bong was like 2 feet tall, and I put on, okay, no. The first time I ever smoked a bong, it was a smaller one. It was like maybe a foot long or like 10 inches tall, and my friend gave me the fucking bong, and I put my mouth around it. You're supposed to like, it's like a circle. You're supposed to go like this, like, but I put my mouth around it like I was giving a fucking blowjob to the bong. And they all laughed at me, embarrassed the fuck out of myself. I laughed too, though, because I didn't fucking give a shit. I didn't know what I was doing. But that was one of them. The aftermath was, I remember waking up and having a fucking gallon bottle, which I don't even see those, a gallon-sized bottle of Miss Butterworth's fucking syrup. And I remember running up the stairs with it and thinking it was the funniest shit, like that I had the bottle and my friends couldn't catch me or some shit. I don't know. I stole the bottle from the pantry, ran up the stairs, dying laughing, and then woke up in the morning. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? So those were kind of fun. That was with the 10-inch bong. Then when I smoked the 2-foot bong, I fucking woke up the next morning throwing up, and I slept on my fucking piece of shit friends. This is the same kid's house, by the way, for all these 3 stories I just told. Same kid. His name's Vince. I'm not going to say his last name. Shout out to you, Vince. He fucking let me sleep in the driveway of his house overnight after I got high. So, kind of a fucking shit friend, but, you know, I love him. But definitely don't let if you get your friend high, probably let him like come inside or get him to come inside. I literally slept on the fucking driveway and woke up with a blanket on me. Like they cared enough to bring me a blanket outside. But rather than just being like, dude, get the fuck inside and throw up in the bathroom, they let me sleep in their driveway. So kind of interesting there. But you guys know the story about when I took edibles. I took too many and I wanted to kill myself. I was freaking the fuck out. So yeah, you know, I've had some experiences with weed, and I think everyone fucking has. And if you say that you haven't, then you fucking lie. It's fun. I used to be the type of person. My thoughts on weed have changed a lot too, because when you're in 8th grade and kids are smoking weed, and they make it seem way cooler and way worse than it really is, right? When I was in 7th grade and 8th grade, the kids that were smoking weed, I thought that they were doing fucking crystal meth because of how like badass that they made themselves seem, right? Even though crystal meth isn't a badass thing to do, I'm just saying that it seemed like some hardcore drug shit. And you know, fucking freshman year, I didn't do it, so I judged people. Basically, I'm a judgmental piece of shit, is what I'm trying to say, and I regret being like that, because you fucking learn over the years the benefits of smoking weed. You learn that it's really not that bad for you. There's different versions. There's fucking K2 and Indica, or whatever the fuck it's called, and like, I don't know, Salvia, is that what it's called? There's different strains. There's K2, I think, is like the bad one that puts fucking holes in your brain. There's a lot of different. Weed is like, you think it's just like you smoke a flower that you fucking roll up in a fucking bong or put in a bowl or put in a blunt, whatever the fuck you do. You don't roll it up in a bong. You roll it up in a blunt, but you know what I'm saying. Weed is that. But when you like really dive in, then there's CBD, and then there's THC, and then there's different strains that have higher amounts of CBD or higher amounts of THC. There's a lot of different shit. So I didn't think to look into it back then. I just thought like, if you smoke weed, you're a piece of shit and I fucking hate you. And that was wrong, you know? I still do kind of give it like stereotypical fucking, I don't even know if that's the word, but I pair smoking weed with like maybe being lazy or being tired or eating fucking pizza, cookies, and a fucking burrito at 3 a.m. Those things go hand in hand in my mind, but that's because when I smoke weed or if I get high, I wake up and there's like 80 wrappers around my body because I just fucking went hard at 3 a.m. So, and I think those are all things that people experience, munchies and fucking laziness. There are some functioning weed fucking potheads that I know that can wake up, smoke fucking dabs, which is a wax version of weed. I know people that wake up and smoke dabs and then go to work and crush it at work all day and then come home and smoke more dabs, eat food, hang out, and then go to sleep like fucking 10 hours later. Kudos to you guys, you know, fucking round of applause. For me, totally different fucking story. I never tried dabs, so I can't really talk about that. But that's my experiences with weed. And what I just bought today. I'm actually recording this the night of 420. It's Saturday night right now. It's about fucking 11:40. I'm recording it now because I smoked this shit, and I know that I'm going to want to just lay in bed tomorrow morning and take my time to get up. And my mom is having an Easter party and all that. So I went to a vape store, and I didn't want to like get fucking high today, but I wanted to experiment a little bit more with fucking CBD and weed. So I went to the vape shop and I found this. It's called Hemp Living Special Sauce. Okay, I'm going to show you on the camera, even though it's fucking backwards. It looks exactly like weed. Can I figure out what I'm doing here? It looks exactly like weed. It smells it smells like very good weed. You can find it on hemplivingusa.com. This is not a fucking ad, but it should be. You can find it on hemplivingusa.com. So what it is, it's a flower version of CBD. So it's CBD. Okay, now I have to fucking explain all of this. I didn't want to fucking do this. CBD versus THC. I'm going to give you the quick answer, okay? These are all long answers, by the way. Basically, this is Angelo's version of an answer. CBD is the fucking component in weed that relaxes you. It fucking takes your anxiety levels down. It gives you like joint and muscle relaxation. So if your back always hurts, you fucking take some CBD, you should be feeling a lot better. It's like joint relief, bone relief, fucking stop thinking about fucking suicide type of shit. It just helps you chill the fuck out. And THC is the part of weed that gets you out of your fucking regular state of mind, and that's what gets you high. So CBD is the part that relaxes you and chills you the fuck out. THC is the part that gets you high and makes you like think differently, I fucking guess. That's basically it. So this flower version it's a majority of CBD. It's like, it says 18.72% CBD and 0.3% THC. So there is a little bit of THC in here, but it's not enough to like actually get you high. It's basically like a very, very, very mild version of weed is what I'm smoking. And the reason why I really like this, I don't know if my eyes look different, by the way, which tell me if they do, because then maybe I shouldn't use this a lot. But I smoked this like an hour ago, and it's like, it chills me the fuck out. A lot of the times my mind is just fucking racing. I can't sleep at night because I'm just thinking about 80,000 things. My hands shake a lot. I'm always kicking my legs up and down. I'm thinking all the time about random shit. Like, I will think about what I want to eat, what I'm going to be when I'm fucking 25, what snack I should eat after I eat my dinner. This is just while I'm sober too. What clothes I should buy next. Why the fuck haven't I ordered a duvet cover? What game am I going to play, and why do I keep playing the same game? When am I going to travel? What the fuck is my career right now? Do I have anything going for me in my life? I think all of those things within every 2 minutes, okay? That's constantly going through my mind. And all I'm doing during my days when I'm like at home and my fucking mind is idle, I'm just like picking those things apart one by one and just trying to answer them. And if I can't answer them, they go right back into the fucking Angelo Blando fuck brain wheel. And then at 2 a.m., I can't sleep because all the unanswered questions that I've asked myself during that day, I'm trying to find the answers out at 2 a.m. You know, that's fucking weird that I just explained that, and it kind of made sense because I never even thought it made sense to myself. But I have all that. So smoking this an hour ago, trying it out, I really did like it because it chilled me the fuck out, and I just feel like very relaxed. And I'm not high. I'm not thinking like, why are there 80,000 stars in the sky and what happens? There's probably a lot more, but I'm not thinking about stupid shit like that. I'm not thinking about why dolphins are going to be fucking extinct. I'm not thinking like about weird shit that Angelo would never think of, you know? And I'm also not thinking like about the deeper, weird fucking galaxies and black holes. And like, I feel like that's what weed does to me sometimes. I just start thinking fucking weird level deep shit. And this didn't necessarily do that. It just made me chill out. So I highly recommend trying this. If you're not a big fucking weed guy, but you do have anxiety, or you do feel like you're depressed, or you feel like you got body aches, Hemp Living special sauce, I definitely recommend trying it. And I just bought which it was a little bit intimidating because I did have to get a bowl. I got like a little one-hitter thing, actually. It's like a glass piece, but it's fucking easy. You take a little bit of the weed shit out, you put it in your one-hitter, you smoke it like it's a cigarette, and then you dump the shit out. It's pretty easy. And I hope it's fucking legal. I really don't know. I figured if I could buy it in a store, then it shouldn't matter. But I felt like if a cop pulled me over and smelled that, and I showed him like, no, dude, it's fucking Hemp Living USA, I feel like he's going to be like, fuck you, you're getting arrested. That's regular weed. Like, who would believe that, you know? I don't know. If you guys know the answers to my questions, or that question at least, please let me know. DM my Instagram. So now I'm going to read off your guys' responses at the most memorable times that you've gotten high. The first one says, one of the most unique experiences I can remember is smoking. This is cool, okay? This girl lives in Canada, is smoking at the Edmonton Legislative Building on 420. Before it was legal in Canada, 420 was the only day that you were allowed to smoke weed on the grounds of a government building. There were people walking around in trench coats with multiple bongs attached who let you try them out. That's fucking sketchy as shit. I didn't read that part of this message. I read the bottom, though. The bottom's cool. Pot shops were handing out free shit like grinders and like trials of weed, 10 sacks and shit like that. I'm guessing. I remember standing in front of a bunch of police officers smoking a joint, and they couldn't do anything about it because it was only on 420. That's cool, you know? That should be fucking everywhere. I don't know if that's a rule. I don't think it is anywhere in the States. But in Illinois, I think the only rules, like the fucking law so far, is that medically it's been legalized, but recreationally it's not yet. But I don't even want to get into that because I know I'm uneducated in that. But I think that's cool in Canada that they had like a day every year that you could just fucking get high and the cops can't do shit about it. That's cool. It's kind of like the Purge, but with weed. And if the Purge was a thing, maybe it would help. Maybe it would help us. That's all I'm going to fucking say. So the next one, my first time smoking, I got very high and went to Taco Bell with my friend. It took me 5 minutes to order one side of naked chicken chips because, yeah, that's what weed does to you too. Any simple task, at least for the first times for me, I'm diluting what I just said to a fucking, it's only me. But for me, the first times I would get high, every simple thing took so fucking long to do, and I just couldn't do it. It couldn't function properly. Like, I would think, like, okay, I'm going to eat this piece of bread now, right? And my brain would be like, well, that's bread, you know, and you might not want to eat it yet, because what if you just look at it a little while? It looks cool. Wow, this bread is very soft. It's actually kind of soft. It's almost as soft as a pillow. Put it against your face. And then my fucking rational mind comes in, and then I'm like, what the fuck am I doing with my bread? And then I finally eat it. But for 5 minutes, my high brain was looking at it and feeling it against my face and just doing weird shit and talking to it. That's what weed did for me the first few times too. Continuing her story, she says, we sat down and I was convinced everyone knew I was high and they were going to call the police. A manager walked by and said, we got to get out of here, man. Oh, and I said, we got to get out of here, man. So I got up to pour the entire contents of my wallet on the floor, a ton of coins. I had to individually pick them up. I was trying to hurry, and the manager told me it's cool. I think he knew I was nervous high. So I left all the change and left really quick. I feel like such a dumbass. Yeah, why the fuck did you do that? But that's like, I don't know why the fuck I did a lot of things that I did when I was high. So, yeah, I mean, getting high just makes you do goofy shit. This girl says, with you, I said, what, when? And she said, at our friend's house at the bonfire. That was another fun part that I like, being the guy that doesn't get high a lot. My friends would always be so fucking excited when I finally would smoke with them. So that was kind of cool, because I remember this night that she's talking about. It was like a night before I was going to LA for like 2 weeks. It was the night before I was going to Vegas and LA for like a month long. And we had a big bonfire, and the fucking squad was there. There was like 10 kids, all my good friends. And when I had friends at the time, everyone came over and we fucking passed around like 5 blunts. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll get high. I got to get on a plane soon anyways. Like, maybe it'll help me sleep on the plane. And it was really fun. It was a good fucking night. So, and all my friends were excited that I was doing it with them. So it was just fucking good times. You know, I like those. Those were fun times. This girl says, this is one of Ron Funch's, I want to say like assistants. She was Ron Funch's assistant before. I don't think she is anymore. But she messaged me and said, Ron accidentally got me high during his photo shoot just by being in the room while he smoked. And I said, was it like a closed room? It was a contact high? She said, yeah, I don't smoke, so my tolerance is low. But it was a photo shoot of him smoking, and he wanted the smoke effect for the photo. So he was basically just fucking blazing, and that got her high. And she said she couldn't drive home because of it. That's pretty fucking funny, right? Everyone laughed. Did everybody laugh? Because it's a funny story. This one says, most memorable experience is, by the way, contact high, fuck that. Because that's so unfair. Your friend gets high, you don't smoke. But just fucking kidding, you're high now. That sucks, right? Most memorable experience is when everybody stopped calling it its slang name and actually started calling it by its scientific name, Cannabis Sativa indica. Okay, whatever I said earlier, this woman agrees. Also, when it treats my pain and anxiety, those are always special moments. Hey, I fucking hear you, you know? It does help out with pain and anxiety. I feel like my eyes look low right now, and that sucks. Because I didn't want to be like this. This guy says, okay, we don't know if this one's true or not. He said, I was crossfaded and walking home. Then I started fucking teleporting. Every few steps, I would be 10 feet further. Then I started running. A cop car pulled up, and I was like, fuck, if I teleport, he'll know I'm fucked up. So I walk up to his car, lean my head in, and say, how can I help you, officer? 30 seconds later, we were talking about how I feel like I'm a disappointment to my parents. I responded, I said, great story. I hope that really happened. Also, he says every few steps I would be 10 feet further. You probably were just fucking walking fast. But thank you for your submission. This guy says, being high as fuck at the Comedy Store, chatting with Brody Stevens. Fucking R.I.P., man. If you don't know who Brody Stevens is, he was a stand-up comedian. He was in The Hangover 1 and 2, and I think the third one. I don't even know if he was in the third one. But he was from The Hangover. He was a stand-up comedian, and he recently passed. So R.I.P. to Brody Stevens. And I'm sure that there was a fucking awesome moment to be able to smoke with him before he fucking passed. This girl says, this guy says, back in 2012, my buddies and I were going to Universal Studios for Halloween Horror Nights. That's something I want to do so fucking bad. So I'm jealous already. I ate a quarter of a weed chocolate bar and drank a 5-hour energy and triple rock stars back to back. Okay, well, don't fucking do that. You could die from the rock stars alone. I fucking hate pops and rock stars and all that shit. I hate it so much. Anyways, I thought I was having a stroke halfway through the night, and when I made myself eat something, I couldn't think fast enough to comprehend what I was doing, and was shoveling Panda Express onto my face without even realizing it. Holy fuck. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's going to do to you. Also, I feel like smoking weed is a thing to chill you out, and then drinking 25. Like, why the fuck did you take a 5-hour energy, a fucking 3? Like, what did you want? What did you want from life on this day? You smoked weed to chill yourself out. You took a 5-hour energy to give you energy, and then you took more energy drinks. You fucking deserve that one, buddy, you know? And then that's why you get orange chicken on your fucking face, because you fucking suck, man. Sorry. This girl says, my friend and I, okay, this one's a book, but so get ready to really listen. I'm going to try to read it fast. My friend and I regularly bought edibles from a few guys, and we knew we'd always get one each. One night we picked them up and ate them in the car like usual. One of the guys texted us when we got back and said, hey, by the way, those are dab brownies. They're way stronger, so don't eat the whole thing at once. At this point, it was too late, but we just laughed it off, didn't think much of it. After it started to kick in, we got hungry, so I went to the kitchen and put in a frozen pizza, and my friend later said I was gone for almost an hour. Neither one of us knew what I did within the hour, but remember finding the pizza on the front porch. A bit later, I was sitting on the floor, shaking, and trying to text, and I remember shaking so much I couldn't read or type back to people, so I started crying. Then I gave up, turned around facing the wall, leaned against it, shaking uncontrollably, crying and saying, I don't want to be high anymore. Dude, you just go down a bad fucking road. That's why I like this CBD shit, because it doesn't give you whatever the fuck makes you sit in a corner and look in the wall and cry. That's all the THC that's fucking hitting you. And I mean, these were dab edibles, so they were a lot stronger. But those experiences fucking suck, because you literally think that you're dying, but like you aren't. And everyone around you knows that you aren't, but you think you are. Just a shitty fucking deal, you know? That's about it for today's weed stories. I'm fucking tired of shit, and I want to go to bed soon. So let's talk about a little bit of shoes, and let's fucking call it a day. I hope everyone's having a good Easter while they're listening to this. Who the fuck is going to, it's a Sunday. Who's going to turn my podcast on Easter Sunday? Or no, I don't know why I said it's a Sunday. It's Easter Sunday. Who the fuck is going to listen to my podcast on Easter Sunday? I don't know, but I hope you guys are. And if your grandma's watching or listening right now with you, then fucking what's up, baby? I hope you're doing good. So before I talk about shoes, I want to talk to you guys about the Travis Scott Retro 1s, the Dog Walkers that just came out. Before I do that, though, I want to talk to you guys about one of my favorite shoes of all time. You already know, they're the fucking Time Slippers. Let me turn the lighting up so you guys can get a good fucking look at these. These are the mid-tops. Time Slippers has brought us a very comfortable inside of a shoe while looking casual on the outside. It's a fucking party on the inside. You got some shortcut wool. You got a 6mm thick yoga mat insole. You got 2 air holes here, elastic shoelaces. That's all on the inside, though. I mean, the shoelaces are on the outside, but all the rest of it's on the inside. Then on the outside, you got this clean black Italian handmade genuine leather. I don't know if it's handmade, but it's like fucking handcrafted. And you got and then you got a nice thick rubber bottom sole of the shoe. And it's good because these are a shoe that you could wear outside. They're great to travel in, wear them to the airport. They're very flexible. So when you're in the airport, if you're like me, you fucking put your legs up. You can't sit fucking still. Sometimes I sit on my leg or I sit on my foot. And because these are so comfortable and like elastic and they're stretchy and you could fucking ball them up, it's not a firm shoe. So I could get really cozy in them and do whatever position I want. You could probably wear them when you're fucking having sex if you want. I'm sure there's no rules against doing that. Plus they got air holes so you're not going to sweat. I have worn them with high socks. I prefer low socks. Time Slippers also sells low socks on their website. I think they do. There should be low tops left on the website, but buy a pair of socks with them or just fucking don't even wear socks because they're that great. And yeah, this is the mid top. I also have this black high top, which kind of looks like the same style as a Jordan 1, but go check them out. Timeslippers.com. They're fucking great. I highly recommend wearing them. They're very comfortable. One of the most comfortable shoes I've ever worn. You could use the promo code KIXNGIGS, KicksNGiggles, and get yourself 20% off. and go do it, because then it looks good for me. And then Time Slippers don't think that I'm a fucking jagoff. Okay, so help me help you. Now, here's the shoes that are behind me. These, you can't really see them because it's so dark, but, oh, now you can. All right, I ordered another pair of Balenciaga Triple S's. I told you guys I was going to do it. I didn't go with the multicolored pair because they were just fucking, they didn't match my style. I'm going through like a gothic fucking all black, I don't give a fuck about any other color phase right now. I think it's because of the black nails, which is making me want to wear all black all the time. So I went with the all black pair. These are the pre-distressed ones. You can't really tell with this lighting. Yeah, you kind of can. But I put the black laces on them. I think they look super clean. The only white is in like the laces a tiny bit, the 43, and then the Balenciaga that's stitched in on the right side. So I thought that they looked super clean with the black laces. Also, they are like very minimal and they don't pop out too much. Normally I like flashy shit. I like the multicolor ones simply because the fact that people are going to see them and be like, holy fuck, those are Balenciagas. But this is a fucking subtle flex. Subtle? Is that how you say that word? So, like, I know it's spelled Subtle, but you don't say subtle. Anyways, it's just it's a minor flex, you know, and you could wear these with black skinnies, black crops, even black like mesh shorts. I think it's going to go dope with a lot of the outfits I've picked out. And buying these kind of makes me want to sell my black, red, and white pair. So if you're a size 10 or 10 and a half or even 11 and you're interested, hit me up and I'll fucking, we'll talk about prices for those. But all black pair, I love those. I kind of want the all green ones too, but I just don't want to have the all black and then like the black, white, and red. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep them. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Now, these are the official pictures of the Travis Scott Jordan 1s that are coming out, I think like May 3rd, May 4th. These are the official pictures. If you're watching this, I'm going to be showing you them. If you're not watching, you could go on Google. You could type in Travis Scott Jordan 1 official pictures, and Sneaker News gives us a fucking great look at them. I just want to show these because I've talked about them before, and I haven't shown the official pictures, and there's something that fucking pisses me off, okay? You guys know, even if you're not looking at them, you know that it's a brown retro 1. It's supposed to be some like very high grade suede throughout the brown part of the shoe. It's supposed to be very high quality leather throughout the shoe, and then like the top part of the heel, like up here, or like it's more of like the ankle. It looks like this like mesh something. It looks like some good fucking materials going on. But we all know that what makes this shoe look so different is that reversed swoosh on the outside of the shoe. Normally, Jordan 1s have that regular swoosh. This one is like flipped, right? Here you could see that. But on the inside, they kept the normal swoosh, which fucking like, okay, I'm over that. I hate that. This is a regular Jordan 1 swoosh. The outside has like the enlarged flipped one. Why the fuck did they keep the inside one, you know? Does that bother anyone else? I would have liked to see that same like enlarged fucking tweaked swoosh all throughout here rather than, I don't know. That just pisses me off. But there you can see the inside. It says Cactus Jack on the right shoe. On the left one, you got the original Nike Air. Then on the heels, they got this like whatever Travis Scott fucking logo of like the sad face with the stitched mouth. They look really awesome. I'm not knocking them. I just think that one thing I didn't notice until I just looked at these pictures the other day. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that. I don't like when they fucking, it's like just so half-assed to me. I feel like, why the fuck would Travis Scott want to design a custom backward swoosh on the outside, but then keep the regular one? I don't know. Not a big fan of that, obviously. So now here's another thing. This is some fucking inside scoop, but it's not guaranteed. Word on the fucking street in Chicago is that there's in between 38,000 and 44,000 pairs being released of these, which is pretty fucking high. But the fact that it's Travis Scott, first of all,
and it's like one of the first retro ones and like popular shoes to like flip the fucking logo, flip the swoosh on them. I don't think that's happened before on retro ones. I'm not really sure. I know that there was a gold toe or a black toe. Or no, it was not a gold toe. It was a fucking, yeah, it was a gold toe or a complex con one that accidentally had a flipped swoosh. It wasn't reversed. It was like vertically flipped. And they ended up going for like $20,000. The Cool Kicks LA shop ended up getting them, and they were fucking going crazy for them. So the fact that they have the reverse swoosh on them is going to hype them up because it's something different. Even someone like me that's fucking sick of new Jordan 1 colorways, these obviously grab my attention because they're different. So regardless if there's 40,000 pairs being made, it's still going to be a very expensive shoe. It's still going to be hard to get. I still think the market's going to be, above $600. It's currently at like $1,700. It's definitely going to drop, but I see it settling at $600 to $900. I don't know. I'm fucking wrong half the time I talk about shoe predictions, but I like to hope that I'm going to be right. So we'll see what happens. The next pair, Dog Walkers. I'm going to get these in hand, and I can't wait to because they're going to be really fun to show online and show in this podcast. There's a ton of different fucking materials going on here, and I can't explain them because I don't know what they are when I just look at a picture. But the Dog Walkers, Nike SB, they do like a release every 420 or like every other 420, I think. It says Nike SB's latest and greatest for its yearly 420 celebrations. Yeah, it's yearly. Arrives in the form of the Nike Dunk High Dog Walkers, pushing many textures alongside the theme that is whatever the fuck. Okay, it has to do with walking dogs. It's not really about smoking weed, but it's like that's their thing. They fucking release a dunk every 420. So I'm sure that they still have like the pocket in them. But what I heard, the reason why I want to talk about these, because I don't really know a lot about them, I just want to talk about the fact that they made a special box for these that's like a tin box. And I think very few of the pairs, from what I've heard, came with a leash. They all come with these like Nike SB dog tags, which are really cool. And then they come with like a fucking shit bag, like a pooper fucking scooper bag. Which is dope. I love when shoe brands and clothing companies add accessories to shit. I'm a fucking accessory bitch. It just adds a little bit of fucking something. When Fear of God adds the 4 fucking different lace locks and the extra long laces and the long rope ones, I like that shit. Just because, and like the tote bags, it just makes me feel like I spent money and got something really worth it that's unique, I wish Jordan did more of that, especially with the off-whites. They did different color shoelaces, but I wish they would have given a little bit more of a fuck, Another great shoe to do it was the fucking Mars Yards. They gave you like a booklet. The insoles had writing all over them. The boxwood had writing all over it. It was very different. The booklet was fucking awesome. So if you're out there and you're trying to create shoes, give us more shit. We need shit. Like that's going to make me buy a shoe 10 times more just based on the fact that like there's different shoelaces with them or a shirt that comes with it or something, So maybe that's just me being a greedy fuck though. I don't know. Thank you guys for listening. I hope everyone had a great Easter and a great fucking 420. And don't just smoke weed. You don't got to do fucking other shit. You don't got to try meth and all that. Just fucking get a little weed. If you don't like to get high, but you have some anxiety, try this CBD shit. HempLivingUSA.com. That's where you can find it. Now I'm gonna fucking go to bed. So everyone have a great day. And next week we're gonna have Donald Trump is gonna be doing a fucking live. I don't know.